All right, everybody. Our next guest is a very funny comedian and host of two podcasts, Domestic Disturbance with Mike Keegan and Tim Saliani, and also Films on Tap with Tim, Chris, Kevin, and Jim. Both shows are right here on GOVS Radio, so make sure you check those out. And without further ado, you know her, you love her. Here she is, everybody, Carla Oakerson. Carla, how's it going? How's everything been?
Good, Don. I'm so happy to see you not recovering from COVID. Me not recovering from COVID.
I know. Now it's me kind of recovering.
Are you? Did you have it? Did I not know that?
I think so. I think I had it. So I here's the story. I tested negative, but I still, and this is another good reason why I'm getting to talk to you, because like you said, the last time I talked to you, you were one of my first guests I had on this new quarantine version of the show. You were like on our second show of quarantine. We had you on, you recovered from COVID. Were you ever tested for coronavirus, or what was the story?
I was tested on Monday. It was a huge wait. So I initially got sick, I want to say about March 17th, March 18th.
And now here we are 10, 11 months later. I'm now recovering from this. And the one thing that I think I had is because I lost my scent and my taste. And I know you did.
You had it.
Not being able to smell or taste things is popping up in about 80% of COVID-19 cases.
How long did it take you to get your taste and your smell back?
So with that, I had my taste back. I mean, sort of, I arguably have never had good taste in men, but whatever. I still don't, I would say my sense of smell is about 75% back, maybe 85, because there are times when and this happened 3 weeks ago, that I bought fish, I brought it home, took it out, cooked it, was prepared to serve it to my family. And then my sister stopped by to drop something off and she was like, "What is that smell?" She was like, "Take out your garbage or something because it smells like a fish market. What the fuck?" And I'm like, "I just made some salmon. You don't want some?" And she was like, "Oh, like,
wow.
You don't smell that?" And then, my daughter came out of the shower and she was like, "Oh, what's happening in this house?" And I'm like, "Smells like garlic." And they were like, "You don't smell that, horrible smell of dead fish?" And I was like, "I don't." And she took the whole thing. She's like, "Throw it out." And there's certain things that I'm not 100% there yet.
Wow. And that's
been frustrating
since
it's
March.
Frustrating.
Yeah. I'm worried I'm never going to smell bacon again. Like there's certain things it's weird because I don't know if this happened with you, because I'm new to this, losing my smell and taste buds. It's been about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. But I'll still taste if something's salty or sweet or sour. I'll still have those sensations, but I can't taste flavors. And then with smell, I could smell the other day, they cooked popcorn and burnt it, and I smelled the burn. Smell. But I couldn't smell, I can't smell peanut butter or something. It's weird.
So with taste, the first thing I could taste was spicy. Did I tell you the story last time? Because it's hilarious and a little gross. I don't think so. You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
So we're at the height of, coronavirus. Me and Isabella, I should say, are at the height of feeling like shit. Nobody can taste anything. Nobody's hungry. No one can smell anything. So I guess about 3 weeks in, and my daughter wakes up and late because she was sleeping 18 hours. I thought she had mono rather than coronavirus. That's what it was like. And she wakes up and she's like, "I'm hungry." And I'm like, "Great. This means we're on the mend, right? You're hungry. I'll get you whatever you want." And she's like a Chipotle fanatic. She's obsessed. She's like, "I want Chipotle." I'm like, "You want Chipotle? I will get you Chipotle. Let's do this." So I get her. I tell her, just get everything on the side. Just, whatever you want, just put it all on the side. So we end up with all their hot sauces that we normally don't get. So she takes a bite and she just she starts tearing up and she's like, "I don't taste anything. This doesn't taste like anything. I was hungry, but now I don't want it, whatever." And I'm like, "Come on, just try it. Maybe put a little lime on it. Try a little hot sauce, whatever." So she put some hot sauce on it, I guess the medium sauce. And she's like, "I got a little tingle. I taste a little something." I'm like, "Okay, good. Put the hotter sauce on it." So she does it. She's like, "I can taste it. I can taste a little something. It's tingling. It's coming back."
Right.
So I'm like, "Here, let me try it." And I don't eat spicy food at all. A buffalo wing is not that's as far as I'm going. And I taste it. It's the same thing. So now we're putting the Chipotle hot sauce on it that I would never normally touch. And I'm like, oh, this is fine. So I'm like, let's step it up a notch. I have some like pickled jalapenos in the fridge. Let's see what happens. So I eat it, nothing, just a little tingle warmth. I'm like, I have some like actual chipotle peppers that, I've used to make chili. Let's try that. Same thing, a little tickle. So here we are, two people that don't eat spicy food ever. And we are just loving this because we're eating jalapenos and chipotle this. And I had a spoonful of sriracha, like I'm taking over the world. Doesn't matter.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So while we're doing this and we're cracking up, Jay calls. Jay Oakerson, my ex-husband. Yeah.
Big Jay Oakerson. I'm not from these parts, but it seems like a great place. I'm Jewish, but nobody can really tell unless my pants are off because I have a yarmulke on my cock and 2 curly cues next to my balls. I call it my Hasidic.
Yeah.
And he's like, how are you girls feeling? He's checking on us because, being the girls or I should say one of my girls was sick. The other, Juliana, never missed a beat. But he's like, how you guys sound great. You're laughing. And I'm like, yeah, this is fantastic. And he's like, well, what are you guys doing? What's so funny? I'm like, oh, Isabella's eating jalapenos. Ha, 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 ha. And he's like, why? I'm like, because we can. It's great. And he's like, what? Why would you don't do that? And I'm like, no, great. I ate a Chipotle. I had a jalapeno. I had a spoonful of sriracha because it was hilarious. And he's like, are you guys fucking crazy? Don't do that. He's like, it doesn't just burn on the way in. It burns on the way out. And I'm like, what?
Because in some ways, your butt is a lot like your mouth. According to your nervous system, hot peppers actually feel hot, temperature-wise. But TRPV1 receptors are in lots of places, and that includes your anus.
And he's like, just please stop. Just stop. Stop what you're doing. So we stopped because I'm like, oh, your dad's saying like we're gonna have an issue later, like in the whatever. And we were just like, fine, whatever. We should be eating this anyway. Like, probably gonna get a stomach ache. So we wrap it up, right? And the next day, I'm in my house. All of a sudden, I hear from the bathroom like, Isabella is just like suffering jalapeno with the jalapenos coming out, and I'm like, oh no, this is terrible. And then fast forward about an hour later, and I am sweating like, oh my God, and why does anyone eat hot peppers? What is this? This is horrible. This is the worst. Like, I'm pooping glass. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's a monkey knife fight in my butthole. Oh my God.
Monkey knife fight.
I'm like, why would anyone do this to themselves? This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And that's
Thank God he called. Thank God Jay called you, because you guys would have just kept going.
I probably would have ordered some ghost pepper chips and been like, let's record this.
This is great. Look what we can do now.
Look at us eating. Like, you can't eat one. We can eat 10. But it was brutal. I don't know how anyone, like the Scotch bonnet peppers and like the jalapeno eating contest, like.
Like I said, if you want to give up, you can give up.
How do you do the backside, no pun intended? How do you do the backside part of it?
Now, consuming capsaicin regularly can actually make your body desensitized.
And like the host of that show, Hot Ones, like that guy, man, I don't know. His ass must be immune to it by now.
I mean, do you have to like prepare your butthole in some way before? Like, you have to like coat it in something? Like,
yeah, I don't know. Do you ever get past it? Like, if you're an aficionado of hot foods, does your butt eventually get immune to it and get used to it, or build a tolerance? I don't know. I don't eat a lot of hot foods either.
I don't know. I think it's like some weird like S&M thing. Like, they like the pain in
They
their
love
mouth,
it.
and then they like the pain in their butthole. So it's like a 1-2 punch.
In response to the pain, your brain releases endorphins and dopamine. Combined, these chemicals create euphoria, similar to a runner's high.
Yeah, there you go. It's the gift that keeps on giving,
Yeah.
at least for a couple of days.
And I really don't. Never again.
So you never had.
I'll be mild for the rest of my life. Thank you. I didn't call you a male chauvinist. I said that's some real
Basic
fragile
thing.
masculinity bullshit that you just fucking lose your shit.
Fragile masculine bullshit. I'm gonna drink my tea.
I mean, you could keep having a temper tantrum. That really speaks more to your behavior than
I
mine.
mean, temper tantrum at all.
You are having a temper tantrum.
By the way, this is the greatest episode we've ever had.
Probably.
So that's another thing too that I love about you is your relationship with Mike Keegan, who is like a real conservative, real Republican guy, and you're on the left, you're a real kind of liberal, not a libertarian. How do you guys, because we've all seen domestic disturbance and how you guys could sometimes get heated on that show, and I kind of enjoy it. I don't know, there's a part of me that likes watching you guys go at it.
He could just have his little temper tantrum. He could stomp his
He can have his little temper
tiny
tantrum.
little thumbs, stomp his feet and whatever. We're not going to get shit done. Let's go back to talking about Kim and Kanye.
How does that relationship, how do you guys make it work? Because and I think that's good, because it does show this unity when we have two people on opposite sides in a loving relationship.
Well, number one, we never discuss politics at home. Like, we can't. It's just, it cannot happen. It's never a thing where it's like, well, we're talking about this, and we're like, you know what, let's just agree to disagree. No, it will always end up in a screaming match. So we just have to like table it. We just don't. We literally just don't.
That's good.
You know, the old school rules, you know, you don't, at the table, you don't discuss religion or politics or money. You know,
Yeah. So you save it for the show.
Yeah, we save it for the show. We do. I guess he feels a little bit more strongly about, I should kind of keep to myself on his posts. But then I'm like, if you don't want me to respond to what you're saying, and I've unfriended him on social media several times. So I'm like, if you don't want me to say something, then I'll unfriend you. Because if you're here and you're saying this and it goes against, something that I believe, like, then I'm going to come at you. And he's not the only person I've done it to. I've certainly come at other people, hard, but not disrespectfully. And then I think conservatives tend to say that liberal people do this a lot. But I found that when I come at certain people, conservatively, they're very quick to throw out the C word. And I'm not talking about Carla.
Cunt is a dirty, profane word in our society that is used to degrade women.
So
wow. Yeah, there's so many hot buttons and hot topics, and I think social media is definitely the cause of a lot of division. I think social media is good and bad, but I think I think it is a part of our division, because it definitely could help allegiances or and help divisions. So like, if I post up something that's making fun of Biden, it's going to get you angry as my Facebook friend, and you're going to go, what? And then you're going to retaliate, and then other people that might feel upset about it are going to retaliate. Then the people that are with me, and then all of a sudden you got a little civil war. Yeah.
What I think is interesting is about social media is, and I've been guilty of this, a million times, right? So, and there's the anonymity of it. Because if we were in studio at Governor's, right, and I was walking past the hallway and you were with three of your friends talking about, how, Trump this and Biden sucks and the election was stolen and blah, 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 and whatever, I would not burst into your group conversation and be like, listen, you MFers, you idiots,
right?
What the fuck you're talking about? You're a bunch of conservative dolts, and you hate the poor, and you hate immigrants, and you hate black people. How about that? Because you will be like, dude, she's a fucking lunatic. Who does that? And if somebody turned around and was like, shut up, you C word, they'd get punched in the face.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Right? They'd be like, all right, she might be a lunatic, but you can't just call Carla a C word in the middle of, are you crazy?
Right.
And on Facebook, this is an everyday normal occurrence, which I do feel like and like I said, I'm so guilty of this myself. So I understand if everyone's like, yeah, Carla, really, but I agree. I think that we all need to take a step back from the anonymity of social media, because it feels anonymous, but it's not. It really isn't. And it feels,
yeah. And it feels like there's no consequences, but there are.
But there are consequences, and it's not real anonymity. It's really not, because, at the end of the day, you can run into somebody and then, be like, oh, wait, you're Don still? Oh, all right. okay. Remember what you said to me 3 months ago? Because I do.
Exactly. Yeah, that stuff doesn't go away, and those hard
Mhm.
feelings fester. And and there's people that you like used to be friends that are that you don't want to hear from, so you either block them or there's a way to mute people
Yeah.
without unfriending them, or you just completely unfriend them, and it's just weird the division and stuff.
Now that we live in the age where social media plays a big part in everyday life, we can't help but judge somebody else by the social media account. Which is why you wonder if there is anything wrong when someone unfriends you on Facebook. It's commonly called social estrangement.
But like with social media, with like Twitter kind of banning Trump and other politicians and silencing voices, do you think, I know it's right now it's a thing where a lot of the it's kind of tilted where they're silencing conservative voices.
Twitter permanently banning the commander-in-chief's personal account with 88 million followers after an initial 12-hour lockout following Wednesday's riots at the U.S. Capitol.
So I have an issue with the people who complain that they were silenced on Twitter, and because especially at the time that it happened, there were a lot of people who were like, oh, it's freedom of speech. I'm speaking about Trump specifically. Who at the time was President Trump at the time gets pulled off of Twitter, right? And they're like, well, they're silencing him. They are, infringing on his right to free speech.
These are tense and difficult times. The efforts to censor, cancel, and blacklist our fellow citizens are wrong, and they are dangerous.
He's the president, and he has a press room at his disposal. So he can call a press conference at a moment's notice. Everyone's going to be there because he was the president, and the world was on fire. So he could have a press conference at a moment's notice, and and everyone will be listening. All eyes will be on him. So I don't know that you can really put that kind of, you can put that kind of responsibility on a private company, right? So the easiest way I can, I guess make that kind of tie together is, sure, you can say whatever you want, right? And because we are in the United States and you have the right to free speech. However, that doesn't mean you can say it in my living room. Right. So you can say it outside, but once you come into my house, you got to follow my rules. And if I don't like what you're saying in my living room, I'm going to put you out. Right. And I feel like that's what Twitter did. This is their living room. So you can talk about all you want. The minute that they feel like you're doing something that, realistically could harm them. If somebody comes back and says, well, he was tweeting all of this stuff, so we did this and we did that, and then we stormed the Capitol and we got injured, we can sue Twitter.
What is needed now is for us to listen to one another, not to silence one another.
Do you think that Trump could now should be allowed back on social media now that he's back to being a private citizen or former president?
I think that a lot of I think a permanent ban is a permanent ban, and again, but he can go on to, I don't know, is he banned from Instagram? Is he banned from Facebook?
I think they all
banned him.
I think every single one of them. Yeah. He's got no voice right now.
I should send him a Clubhouse invite. Can he come on to Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is the latest social media app to hit the market, and if you're rushing to the App Store right this second to download it because you feel a case of FOMO coming on, I've got some bad news for you because the app is currently invite only.
Send me your phone number, Trump. I'll send you a Clubhouse invite. You can go on there. But you know what, you might be right, because I read he was banned from Pinterest, and I was like, what the fuck could he possibly have been pinning? Like,
I want everyone to know about my new
peach
hobby
recipe. Now Stewart is calling it impeach cobbler. I don't find that funny, but here it is.
Impeach cobbler.
And now it's time for the Donald J. Trump Cookbook by me, Donald J. Trump. That's right. You all, of course, obviously know me as the greatest president of all time, but little do you know I'm also the greatest chef.
Well,
as a private citizen, should he be allowed to come back on? Maybe, but again, if you go back to, what I was saying, like, if you are acting up in my house, do I get to let you back in? Maybe, when I feel like you've calmed down, maybe in a year, if the powers that be at the individual social media sites feel that the temperature has cooled in the country, but I think that what happened on, was it the 6th or 5th of January? 6th?
Yeah, I think it was the 6th. Yeah, January 6th.
I think that really scared a lot I think
I think
that
Pelosi was scared. She still seems like shaking up.
AOC, like, these people like have
She's twitching now. AOC.
Which, I get that. I get that because, I'm certainly nowhere near their level of exposure, and I've gotten death threats from going at it with Mike and, defending Black Lives Matter. And, somebody was like, if I see you on my lawn, I'll shoot you in the face. I'm like,
wow. Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm going to screenshot this because if you shoot me in the face,
yeah, I want to have evidence.
I want everyone to know it was you.
Yeah.
And people saying like, well, if you blah, 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 something, I hope your kids, whatever, get raped. Somebody said, I hope your kids get raped if you're something Black Lives Matter. And I'm like,
wow. Yeah.
My children get raped because I have an opinion. You don't even know me. You don't know my kids. So now, not that I find that scary, although people have, told me like, you should, post pictures of like your gun permit and like let people know not to fuck with you.
Now, I also, because I think you would be a great press secretary. Definitely better than Jen Psaki.
Angry a lot.
She's always circling back.
I'll circle back if there's more I can share with you. I'll circle back with you if there's more to convey. I'll have to just circle back with you. We can circle back with him. I'm happy to circle back with you. I can circle back. I will have to circle back on that one. That's an excellent question. Oh, such an important question. We will circle back with you, and we'll circle back with you. It's an interesting question, but we'll circle back. I'm happy to circle back, but I'll have to circle back with you on it. It's a good question, but we'll circle back with you on this today. We will certainly circle back with you more directly.
I wouldn't really want to ask her a question because I feel like every time somebody asks her a question, she's like,
would that be something you would be interested in doing?
Yeah, but I think I curse too much.
That would be great. You give it to us straight.
Don Sill, great fucking question. Let me tell you.
That would be awesome. I think you should push for that. I think you'd be great. Here's our press secretary, Carla Oakerson, ladies and gentlemen. And then you get up there and then you'd be like, no, I'm not answering your question. Yes, you go. And then you could just be like, what the fuck do you want?
What do you want? What do you want? You asked me a dumb question yesterday. What do you ask me today? Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Choppy, get it out. You think I don't have other places to be? Come on. Question. Great fucking question today. Yes.
That would be awesome.
We have prioritized.
I do want to thank you for coming on here. This was great. And also, I did want to ask you, Valentine's Day is coming up. What are your plans? Do you have any? Is there anything to do now with the pandemic?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I hate Valentine's Day so much. I hate it. It's like if Valentine's Day is the highlight of your relationship, then your relationship is on the rocks. Okay? Because every heart-fit box of chocolates is disgusting, right? So if you're going to CVS to buy your significant other a stale-ass box of heart chocolates, you don't care about them. You don't care. You're just like checking the boxes. Like, I gotta get her some chocolates, or him or her. I gotta get him a card, and I'm gonna get him some sad-ass roses that are gonna die by tomorrow because florists have been hoarding flowers for a month. Oh my God, the restaurants are gonna be beyond packed. The food is gonna be shitty because they're just trying to get it out. Don't cook something for your significant other that you know that they like. Do that. Get them flowers this week. The flowers will be fresh and they will last until Valentine's Day. If they like chocolate, go and get them some good chocolate. Go to Godiva and pick them out something, 4 or 5 delicious truffles that you know they'll enjoy. Don't give them some bullshit 30-pack of CVS chocolates that only 2 of them are edible. And I have nut allergy. I'm allergic to almonds. So every time I get one of those boxes, I'm like, this is so phoned in. This is phoned in because you're giving me something. I can't have any of them. Like, number one, I can't have any of them because I don't know if they have almonds. And number two, I'm perpetually dieting. You just gave me a 40-pack of CVS heart chocolate. It's like, pay attention to what your partner likes and doesn't like. I posted something on social media the other day about don't give CVS chocolates, and then someone said that they got like a car part or something for Valentine's Day. Like that, now that particular woman did not want that. But if your significant other needs new windshield wiper blades and you do that, that's awesome. That's a great like I know that you need this. I know you haven't had time to have it done, and I care about you, and I want you to be able to look out of your windshield and not die when it's raining. So I got this done for you. I got you a $20 box of Russell Stover trash chocolates that nobody likes. They're full of shit that no one eats. Like it's what is it, like Soylent Green on the inside? Soylent Green. What is this shit? You just break it open, it's just gooey pink shit or gooey white shit. Like, no one's eating this shit. If your partner's dieting, go to Tropical Smoothie and get them a smoothie with kale in it that doesn't taste like shit because now there's kale in it. Like, here you go, it's a smoothie, it's delicious, it's low calorie, it's full of nutrients because I love you. Okay, if you really want to put some money into it, get your partner a house cleaning service for the day. How much better? Like, it doesn't get better than that. You come home, your house is pristine. Oh my God, what happened? Happy Valentine's Day. You don't have to scrub the toilet this month. Fuck the flowers. Oh, by the time you buy $100 worth of roses on Valentine's Day and $25 worth of shit chocolate and a garbage card, just buy a cheap card, get the fucking house cleaned, get the wipers done, get your friends, get your partner's oil changed, get their car washed, whatever, and then make something, grab a steak, so easy. Throw a steak on the cast iron pan, some tomato and some mozzarella, throw a salad together, boom, that's it. Your girlfriend or boyfriend will love you forever. Clean house, steak, mozzarella and tomato. Who doesn't want that? And then you didn't have to go and do the florist shit. You don't have to wait on a line of 800 dudes that don't give a shit at CVS. And while you're doing all that, grab the Zoom of governors and watch Andrew Dice Clay. I'm Carla Oakerson, your love guru. I'm taking care of Valentine's Day for everyone that's listening. Do that. Just do that. You got the steak, the mozzarella tomato, the clean house. Don't worry about CVS. Don't worry about the rest of that shit. Throw on Andrew Dice Clay. Throw on Andrew Dice Clay and you're good to go. You are good to go.
There you go, folks. Carla's Valentine's Day advice. I'm so glad. That was awesome. And I think I'm going to take a lot of that advice.
I think if you really, really, truly need chocolates, if you need them, if you need to have them involved in some way, just grab a bag of Hershey's Kisses. You can't go wrong with those. Plain chocolate, plain milk chocolate, Hershey's Kisses. Everybody loves them. They're red and silver, and they're, you can put them around. Maybe you put a little, trail of kisses to the bed and, go have some sexy time.
There you go. Nice. Carla Oakerson, everybody. She knows.
These things.
You're the best, Carla. I appreciate it. I had a great time talking to you. This was awesome.
Thanks, Don. I had a fun time too. I really appreciate you reaching out to me and including me.
Yeah, you're awesome, and I definitely love you and I love everything you do. And I want everybody to check you out on the domestic disturbance. That comes on what, Tuesdays? Tuesday nights, and then again with Films on Tap on Friday nights.
Yeah. So what I was trying to do with that is I was coming off so hard on domestic disturbance that I needed to put forth a kinder, gentler Carla on Films on Tap. So,
so you get a good balance.
It's not all internalized misogyny, although I do drop a couple of internalized misogynies on Films on Tap.
Yes. But you're the best. I appreciate it. Thanks again, Carla. And love the background, by the way. So happy that
you were able to help me.
Yeah, so we got that going. So there you are, folks. Thank you, Carla. You're the best.
Thanks, Don. Thanks so much for having me on. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, shout out to PUSUSU.
Yes, thank you.
What's that I see on the TV? Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up is on the TV. Make sure you tune in and subscribe. Don and Benny, they're awesome.